Hello there. I wanted to show off a few simple features with Living Spec. Just sometimes things are hidden in plain sight, sometimes they're not obvious. Just give you a few examples that hopefully help you on your journey with trying out the product. So, Living Spec is a collection, a document is sort of a container. It's user permissions, pages, links, tasks, things like that. So, first thing we can kind of do is we can create a list, and I'm intentionally going to create images, and what else should I create? Maybe I should just actually start with a section called specs and a section called releases or plans, right? And what I can do is I can highlight this list and I can create multiple pages, one per list item. So now I've got a page called specs, a page called releases. I can click into that. If I look at the sort of pages within my spec document, I've got this tree that sort of forms automatically. Or if I look over here in document, I can see that there's various pages, or I can see this little tree map that forms based on the spec document I've created. Now, here I'm going to say, suppose I was creating Living Spec and I wanted to write a spec for how images work and how tasks get created. So I could create one for images. It'd probably, of course, live inside an editor spec, but we'll just pretend it doesn't matter. And one for tasks. So again, I can highlight these. I can convert them to pages, either with a keyboard shortcut or with the editor, which floats its toolbar down. You see, oh wow, this tree's grown a little bit. I actually have options here. I could hide tasks and just see the pages, or I can show tasks. Right now, those are identical. So the next thing I might want to do is I've got my spec page, I'm starting to write content, and maybe I want to insert a use case. So I can go to my snippets, and there's one called use case, which is provided by Living Spec out of the box that looks roughly like this. I can insert it, and I can say that the scope is the editor, and I can say the primary actor, in this case would just be the user, or maybe like an author is the right term. There we go. And then my secondary actor might be the system. And my main success criteria for today would be I want to author should insert image into spec page. And it could be an image or it could be any file, to be fair. But an image is a special case because you want to be able to see it into spec page via drag and drop. Author should insert image into spec page via copy paste. Now, Safari doesn't, with the old version of the copy paste protocol, doesn't allow you to paste images with rich text editors. So just keep that in mind. That might not work in Safari. Or author should be able to provide a URL and import an image. Now, I could create tasks for each of these. Now, this is the only one that actually isn't done yet. So what I can do is I can just highlight something, and I can either press the keyboard shortcut, which on a Mac is Option Command T or something similar on Windows or Linux. I can create a task. And now look, I've got a task. Author should be able to provide a URL and import an image. I can go into this task, and what that does is it opens a task on the side, and it allows me to specify things like a due date, the progress. I can specify a priority. I can assign it, in this case, just to myself because I'm the only person in this document. And I can say something like, we fetch image, create copy within Living Spec. Great. And then, of course, down here, then spec page should display image with user resizable options. Cool. So that's like a spec. It's not, obviously there's more you would write typically, but that is a spec, and it should be enough. Now what I can do is I can go into, say here, say I want to add some information on how to create a task. So I'm here, and basically I'm in tasks, and what I want to be able to do, we'll just do something really simple, is user should be able to highlight text and convert to a task, which already works in bulk. User should have typical task options, type, due date, status, priority, etc. Could get pretty interesting. And then also a new task option. So right now, currently, there's like new page, new document, import page, but there's like, where'd the task go? So all I have to really do is I have to highlight this, and I can convert it to a task. One of the things we plan to do is make it so that, you can also, let me just insert reference to existing task. So currently what I can do is I can type the pound symbol, and I can highlight this task that I've already created. I'm going to escape out of that because I don't want to do that right now. But as part of that, what I want to be able to do, and I will be able to do within Living Spec in the near future, is allow you as a user to be able to insert your own, like as you're starting to type, say, oh, I want to turn this word into a task. I don't want to have to think about what I'm doing with it, that sort of thing. So if I find an image, I can drag one. Give me 1 second. I'll just show you that. So I could add an image here that's going to upload, and it sort of shows my use case, which is, hey, I start to type. I can either highlight an existing task based on what I type, or I have this option to create a new task or a new page as I'm going with that. Similarly, we'll also have the option to insert images from other sources, like through a Figma integration or things like that. So that's cool. Now, there are other ways to insert an image. One of them is this page mechanism. And what you could do is, for this particular page, it will actually add it as a child page. But what you could do is you could copy this email link, send us an email, and if that email contains an image, we'll attach it directly into your spec for you. So that's another way to get an image into Living Spec today. I will do a separate video showing off how copying, or like how importing into email works, but I think that's enough for now. So thanks. Let me know if you have any questions, and look forward to your feedback on using Living Spec.